We are now live and yeah. Dear friends, esteemed scholars, and fellow history enthusiasts, welcome to the Karwan Book Award 2023 ceremony. Today, we gather not only to celebrate the brilliance of historical scholarship but also to honor the relentless pursuit of knowledge and the enduring power of books in shaping our understanding of the Indian subcontinent's history. As the founder of the Karwan Book Award and the Karwan Heritage, I am filled with immense pride to witness the growth of this initiative, the Book Award. It has become a symbol of the collective dedication to preserving the authenticity of historical narratives in a world where the past is often reshaped to suit various goals. The Karwan Book Award is our way of honoring outstanding non-fiction books that uncover the many layers of Indian subcontinent's history. In the wise words of Professor Romila Thapar, chair of the Shortlist jury in 2022, the writing of history has a method which historians observe, and their work is judged by its application. Historians assessing new publications should contribute to strengthening this process. She rightly emphasizes that the writing of history follows a method that historians adhere to, and their work is judged by its application in the real world. In a world where historical narratives are constantly evolving, it becomes imperative to strengthen the process of historical inquiry, ensuring that the integrity of the discipline is preserved. This award reminds us of the importance of preserving historical integrity in the face of changing narratives. In an era where history is often rewritten for various reasons, academic interventions become our safeguard, ensuring the discipline of history stays true to its roots and methods. It not only recognizes the scholarly prowess of historians but also aims to bridge the gap between academic excellence and public understanding of history. As we look back at the distinguished laureates of the 2022 Karwan Book Award, Audrey Trushka for the language of history, Sanskrit narratives of Muslim past, Kanat Sinha for from Dasrajanya to Kurukshetra, making of a historical tradition, and Christoph Jefferlo and Pratinav Anil for India's first dictatorship, the emergency 1975 to 77. We witness the diversity and depth of historical narrative explored by these remarkable authors. These works not only showcase the diversity of historical narratives, but also set the bar high for the caliber of scholarship that the Karwan Book Award seeks to honor. Tonight, we are privileged to have an esteemed jury for the 2023 edition, comprised of Professors Amar Faruqi, Partho Datta, Suchandra Ghosh, Farhat Hassan, Rohit Dey, Abhilash Malayil, Malvika Kasturi, and Joy Pachuao. These eminent scholars have dedicated their time and expertise to carefully evaluate the submissions in the last year, recognizing the profound contributions made by the shortlisted and longlisted authors and the eventual winner who will be announced tonight. One remarkable aspect of the Karwan Book Award is that it is led by a students' collective in India. This unique approach not only showcases the dynamism and vibrancy of the academic community, but also emphasizes the importance of involving the younger generation in the discourse of historical understanding. The power of books and history can never be overstated. In the words of historian David McCulloch, history is who we are and why we are the way we are. These simple yet profound books shortlisted today contribute to our understanding of who we are as a society and why our past shapes our present and also the future. The Karwan Book Award is a celebration of diligent research, intellectual curiosity, and a commitment to preserving the authenticity of our shared history and heritage. Let's celebrate the simplicity of power of books and the dedication of authors and the indomitable spirit of historical inquiry. As we eagerly await the announcement of the shortlist and the winner of the Karwan Book Award 2023, let us reaffirm our commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and historical understanding. The works recognized tonight will not only contribute to the academic discourse, but will also play a crucial role in shaping the narrative of the Indian subcontinent's history for generations to come. Let us celebrate the written word, the tireless efforts of scholars, and the enduring legacy of Indian subcontinent's history. The Karwan Award is not just a recognition of academic excellence, as we said. It is a reaffirmation of our collective responsibility to safeguard the discipline of history in India today. May the shortlisted authors and the eventual winner inspire us to delve deeper in the annals of the past, fostering a richer and more nuanced understanding of history that binds us all. And with that, I would now request the jury chair, Professor Amar Faruqi, to say a few words.
Thank you, Ishan. Good evening, friends. We are very happy to announce the shortlist and the winner for the Karwaan Book Award for 2023. This has been a process spread over several months. We were first part of the long list jury, and then Karwaan. We had the privilege of being part of the shortlist jury, which Karwaan constituted. And over a period of several months, we have had a series of lengthy discussions about books, nearly between 60 and 70 books, which ultimately we managed to prepare a long list of 10 books. And I'm really sort of very happy to say that, to share with you that there was complete unanimity about the 10 books that were part of the long list. And I can say as much about the short list as well. After lengthy discussion, eventually 3 books were selected, which will be announced shortly. And after some sort of this initial difference of opinion on the winner, which is an indication of our own personal inclinations and own interests in terms of scholarly writing, we were unanimously able to select the winner out of these 3 books which were shortlisted. These will be announced shortly, and I would like to in advance congratulate the authors of the 3 books which have been shortlisted and the winner of the Karwaan Book Award for 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amar sir. I would now request Suchandra ma'am to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Ishan, for this wonderful effort that you started last year. A very good evening to you all. Professor Faruqi has already narrated the process. I just want to say that it was a pleasure to read such a wide variety of books. And particularly, I became enriched with the discussions that we used to have. The meetings were in for the Indians at night, and it would go on. And we had such lively discussions. And for me, it was very enriching. And moreover, the kind of books that we received and then we shortlisted those books also, as Professor Faruqi mentioned, that we were quite unanimous. Maybe we thought that one book could go in the second and the other could come in the third and all that. But it was a very lively, engaging process between all the long list juries. And about the authors, I must say one thing: the books that were shortlisted, each of them had a distinct way of narration, the methodology, and I found those very impressive. Though I specialize in ancient India, but it was a pleasure to read some of the books belonging to different other streams that I don't specialize, but I found them really very interesting. And I, from my bottom of the heart, I congratulate the 3 shortlisted winners, and of course, finally the winner. And I congratulate Ishan also to carrying forward such a wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suchandra ma'am. I would ask Joy ma'am to say a few words.
Right. Along with my co-panelists, I also want to thank Ishan and the whole Karwaan team for inviting me to be part of this panel and the jury, and also want to. I just want to say that it was a wonderful experience. I think that is um, the experience of all of us here. Uh, um, and for me personally, I think I was able to sort of go through several books that were also out of my area of expertise and even interest. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity for that. Um, my Professor Faruqi and Professor Ghosh have already mentioned some of the concerns that we had, but I also want to point out one of the uh, concerns that we had throughout the discussions, two of the concerns rather. And one is, of course, the focus on methodology. And the second thing is, of course, accessibility. The desire to make history accessible to a larger audience, not just academicians and academics or professional historians, but to a larger reading audience. So I think those 2 points weighed on us quite a bit. But I think we were able to come out with a consensus at the end of the day. And I think the books that have been shortlisted, the 3 books that have been shortlisted, sort of reflect those ideas and concerns as well. And I think the 3 books reflect excellence in those areas, So I just want to once again also congratulate the shortlisted winners as well as the winner of Karwaan. And once again, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Joy ma'am. I would now request Partho sir to say a few words.
So thank you, Ishan, for inviting me to be part of the jury. I was very excited when you called me and sent me an email. I think this is a wonderful effort. It was being part of the jury was also meet old friends who are also part of this whole team, and we were looking at books. I was very excited to get all these books also when these packets arrived. That was the best part of being in the jury. And I have to say that for me, it was a difficult choice because as we slowly, from the large number of books that we had, we started making our personal selections for a smaller list. I realized there were 3 kinds of books which were coming. One were, of course, the historical monographs, beautifully and wonderfully researched. Then there were sort of general books written for a popular audience, but as all of the other jury members I mentioned, whose methodology was excellent. So that was very, very, very encouraging to see. And thirdly, we had biographies, which is also relatively new to the. I mean, we have had, biographies of political figures, occasionally written brilliant biographies, but now we have had a range of other figures, including literary figures, who have been written about. And uh, it gives us a glimpse of an age and particularly cultural histories, which is what is so important. So it was a difficult choice, but I think in the end, we did come across, we had a kind of, we all agreed that these 2 or 3, people the book should really come right up to the top. But it was an absolute pleasure being in this jury. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Partho sir. I would now request Malvika ma'am to say a few words.
Thank you, Ishan. And like everyone else, I want to congratulate you for this absolute marvelous effort and bringing us together across different time zones. And I know it's been, I think if we're here, it's also because of you. And I would also, it was a real pleasure being part of the book award jury this year and to work with my colleagues and friends. And I don't want to repeat what everybody else has said, except to second that and to say what an absolute pleasure it was, and with great joy, to see not only the diversity of books, but to know the discipline of history is alive, and it is in the most difficult of times. And it is, and not only that, the excellence of research, the diversity of methodologies, which also made it very hard for us to make a short list, a long list, sorry, and then a short list. So I think many of the robust discussions that we had was because of the anguish that we were in, because there was an abundance of riches. I also was reading outside my area of specialization. What I was delighted to see was the large number of books that actually cross the specialist, non-specialist divide, which also is, I think, for me, an indication of the interest people have in reading about our past, and also a rigorous and methodologically sort of rich engagement with history. And so that was also one of the reasons why it was very hard, and it was a very difficult choice, because there were so many books that we also had to leave out of the long list. And I found the short list very, very difficult, because quite frankly, I found all of them excellent in different ways. Having said that, I, along with my fellow jury members, agree that the consensus that we reached was based on excellence of methodology, innovative research, and originality. And also, and for me, texts and work that spoke to the times that we live in. And I think, and so I also join my fellow jury members in congratulating the 3 shortlisted winners. But I would also like to say that the other books were equally well deserving, and it is and I know that Ishan is already preparing for the next year's Wealth of Riches, but I congratulate the 3 books that we shortlisted as well as the winner in advance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malvika ma'am. And I would now request Farad sir to say a few words.
Well, I guess the other jury members have said everything that needs to be said in the matter. I guess, yes, we were certainly we should begin by thanking Ishan for arranging all this, for having us in this team. And of course, we realized that this must have been a very difficult job for him to do, because some of us were very busy, tied up with other engagements. Some of us were just lazy, and turned out to be very difficult for him to get us all together in the team. Yeah, I think, yeah, it was a wonderful experience having to read all these books in the last couple of months. And we were faced with the challenge of shortlisting these books. And of course, as pointed out by Malvika and Partho, these books were asking very different questions, introducing very different methodologies, and had very different frameworks of engaging with issues of our past. But I think we managed reasonably well in preparing the shortlist, and I would also like to join the other jury members in congratulating the authors of the shortlisted books as also the winner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Farad sir. And now it is time, and I think Dr. Rohit Day and Dr. Abhilash Malayal could not join us because they were traveling at different places. So now it is time that we reveal the award for which people are waiting on the YouTube live. To make the first shortlist announcement, I would request for Professor Partho Datta to make the announcement.
So the first book that we have chosen is the Akshay Mukul's book, the biography of Agge. Should I just read the citation? Do you want me to read the citation? Oh, yeah, okay, fine. So I'm just going to read this out. This is a capacious biography of the great Hindi poet and novelist Agge, accessibly written, broad in scope, straddling both the literary and political worlds of Indian modernism, this biography sets new standards for writing the lives of significant pioneers in Indian literature. The author has meticulously mined a range of archives, and he interweaves the personal story with larger intellectual contexts in which authors, poets, artists, journalists, and activists in the 20th century wrestled with the great questions about transforming the world. The detailed and fascinating cross currents of North Indian intellectual life, especially the contentious world of Hindi literature, come alive. Perhaps the most remarkable achievement of this biography is that it brings to life the ethos of an era through intimate and poignant details. The dilemmas and challenges of transiting from colonial to a post colonial world, the vigorous print cultures, the multifarious ideologies, and the temptations of conforming and rebellion are magnificently interwoven in this book. The author has command over the history of literature, literary criticism, art history, and political and social contexts. This is a biography that also doubles as a history of 20th century India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Datta. Now I would request Professor Malavika Kasturi to make the second announcement for the shortlist.
So it's thank you, Ishan. So it's my pleasure to read out the citation for Sudeshna Guha's History of India in 75 Objects, um, and this is what the citation says. Sudeshna Guha's History of India in 75 Objects is a vibrant and elegantly written story of the Indian subcontinent, narrated through an astute choice of objects. Focusing on creation, discovery, and reception, this curatorial narrative helps us think through how objects and texts change meaning over time. Thus, it foregrounds objects as repositories of complex histories and as artifacts whose own past is imbued with a plethora of contested meanings and claims. Guha's lively narrative moves effortlessly from the Pallavaram spearhead and the Harappan dancing girl to the ambassador car and the movable Chalet solar pump. Here, the ivory statue of a Yakshi found in Roman Pompeii signals the expansive contact between India and the world since ancient times, while the duplication of the jadeite necklace from Mohenjo-daro highlights the creation of borders in our own past through the formation of modern nation states. The book's division into 75 short chapters helps make it accessible to a specialist and non-specialist audience. The rich discussions for each object seamlessly pull together the layered discussion of objects, followed by a small bibliography for the curious reader. The book is to be commended for its methodology of highlighting the importance of visual culture and objects as central sites of the quote-unquote archive of history, its lucid prose, and for effortlessly pulling together a narrative that spans an astonishing sweep of India's history. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Kasturi. So we have done the shortlists. I would just repeat the names of the shortlisted books. The first shortlisted book is Akshaya Mukul's Writer, Rebel, Soldier, Lover, The Many Lives of Ageya. And the second book, the shortlisted book, is Sudeshna Guha, The History of India Through 75 Objects, published by Hachette, and the Akshaya Mukul book is published by Penguin Random House India. Now for the final announcement, the winner of the Karwaan Book Award 2023, I would request Professor Farhat Hassan to make the official announcement.
Right. I am delighted to announce Elizabeth Lowe's Everyday Islamic Law and the Making of Modern South Asia as the best book prize for this Karwaan effort. And I'll now read out the citation. Everyday Islamic Law is a landmark study of the legal process in colonial India, but it has wider historiographical implications that promise to deepen and reshape our understanding of the state-society interactions in British India and the social communication that was so crucial to the making of modern South Asia. Focusing on the routine legal encounters, the work draws our attention to the significance of non-state actors in shaping the legal system in the 19th and 20th centuries. In doing so, Lost makes a strong argument in favor of legal pluralism, and through an exploration of the everyday lives of Muslim litigants, presents the legal process as constituted and reproduced by the interaction of the evolving legal arena with the colonial judicial system. The author has explored an unusually rich archive that is removed from, but in conversation with the state in modern South Asia. Looking at the dispersed rulings of the Muslim clerics on matters of inheritance, marriage, divorce, and maintenance, and the religious rulings or opinions or fatwas, as they were called, issued by Muslim scholars and divines. Lust visualizes law as a process, not a structure, one that can be better apprehended by shifting the focus away from the state to the messy localities, away from the British courts to the routine everyday legal encounters of ordinary litigants in 19th, 20th centuries. Drawing out a rich archive of vernacular law, she also shows how Islamic law in practice was marked by plurality. A definitive legal answer at one moment did not foreclose competing and contradictory answers in the future, and explains how it continues to exist in multiple and multivocal forms. Congratulations, Dr. Lewis.
Thank you so much, Professor Hassan, for making the announcement. And we would also like to congratulate the two shortlist authors, Akshay and Sudeshna, and the winner, Elizabeth, for the award. And finally, I would like to thank all the jury members who were part of this process. A long manthan took place uh, on Zoom over these months, and I think a whole year where we were discussing from 65, 70 books to 3 books at the end, and one winner of the prize. Though I think all the books nominated were of great interest to all the jury members, and they were read extensively, debated extensively, and out of that discussions and debate came these 3 names. So congratulations to Mr. Akshay Mukul, Dr. Sudeshna Guha, and Dr. Elizabeth Lost for this recognition. We will be publishing the citations on the emails. We'll be sending the emails, and as well as we'll be publishing it on our official website, karwaanheritage.in. So I would really again thank that finally, after so much of discussion and debates, the jury came to an agreement. Congratulations to the authors, the publishers, because the editors in the publishing house go through a lot when they are publishing a book. So I think they also deserve commendation and recognition for the brilliant books that they have published last year. And in the last 3 years, we have been seeing an uprising number of books on history written by both professional and non-professional. So I hope that the Karwaan Book Award would continue to recognize works which has the rigor and the method which is needed in historical writings, because it is the time that in the age of misinformation, we should recognize works that show brilliance in their writings. So once again, congratulations to the authors, the publishers, and I hope that readers would pick these books up and they will read the books so that they'll know a great deal about the Indian subcontinent. And the long list is available on the Karwaan's Instagram handle. You can go through the long list as well. We had 10 books long listed, then 3 books shortlisted, and the winner. So once again, thank you so much, jury members, writers, authors, and everybody who watched us live. I'm Ishan Sharma signing off. We'll be back again to make the long list announcement and the short list announcement next year with another set of scholars that we can't reveal. And hopefully we'll have great books next year. Thank you so much. And keep reading, keep thinking, keep questioning. That's how you'll keep yourself sane in these insane times.